Outdoor Christmas lights are a great way to get you and your neighbors into the holiday spirit. I'm gonna give you some great tips and tricks to make hanging your lights quick and easy. After watching this video, you just might have the best lit house on the block. Before you start, it's best to develop an overall design plan. Resist the urge to just wing it, or you could end up with a holiday mess. The focal point for this home is the double entry doors and the front porch. We'll also light the bushes, trees, windows, and roof line to complete the look. We need to take measurements to know how many lights we'll need. My friend Steve is here to help me get this house all lit up. We'll want to measure all the locations we're going to light, and since our roof lines don't have peaks, we'll just measure the length from the ground to make it easier. For bushes and trees, the number of lights you'll need is a matter of personal preference. A good rule of thumb for dramatic lighting is to plan for around 200 lights per 1.5 feet of tree. If you prefer medium lighting, 100 mini lights per foot should be enough. Also, plan ahead. You'll likely want to use some extension cords to go from your outlets to the ends of your strands. No one wants a beautiful light display and no way to turn it on. With a design plan in place, now you need to think about what type of lights you want to use. There are a ton of choices out there, and it's not just all about the color. White Christmas lights can create a timeless look, while colored lights are fun and festive. Or you can combine them to create some complex designs. Not all white lights are the same hue. Some give off a warm yellow glow, while others have an icy blue tint. Check the front of your box for this information. Many LED lights today offer the option to switch between color and white on the same strand. Okay, lighting type. There's LED versus incandescent. Although both LED and incandescent string lights come in a variety of colors and bulb shapes, there are a few basic differences between them. Incandescent lights often cost less than LEDs and have a warm glow. LED lights use less energy than incandescent bulbs, are longer lasting. Some LEDs are rated up to 100,000 hours, come in both warm and cool varieties. You can also combine more strands together of LED lights versus incandescent. For this house, we're gonna do a mix of lights to get a great overall design. There are tons of different types of lights, but the main ones include string lights, icicle lights, net lights, large bulb lights, pathway lights, spotlights. No matter what light types you choose, we always need to keep safety first. We're gonna start stringing our lights, and first are these bushes. For these, we're gonna use net lights. These are awesome for bushes and shrubs because they give a really even application. Everything looks pretty symmetrical. It's way easier than working with individual strands. I'm using LED lights, and I like these ones because I can attach up to 8 according to the package directions. So we'll probably need 3 or 4 sections here, but we can connect them all together. We're draping our net lights over the top, and we're coming down onto the front. Now, we're stopping our lights kind of wherever the branches and the leaves end. We can't go all the way to the ground or the lights would look a little bit floppy. You want to have the branches and leaves to give it stability. As we add on additional sections, we're doing a little bit of an overlap. So where one net ended, just overlap it a little bit with the next area so there's no kind of bald spots in your lighting. And then as we're going, we're connecting our 2 sets together. So one into the next. They make these really easy to connect together. And then just kind of tuck that inside so it's not really visible on the outside. Now we need to get power to our shrubs. There are a few different outlets outside at this home. For this section of lights, we're gonna run an extension cord to an outlet around the back of the house. So for the design plan, we're lighting these shrubs. We're also doing spotlights here on this tree and then some path lights down along the front. So this one cord needs to do a lot of work. What is our solution?
3-way adapter.
Yep.
So we plug it in here, and then we have the options to run path lights, bushes, and then spots for the tree.
Yeah, all off the one extension cord instead of having multiples run, which could kind of just look clunky. We're trying to keep the cords as low profile as possible. The cool thing about the net lights that we chose is that they're kind of an 8-in-1. There's 8 different options for how these lights can look. We can go color, we can go white, we can go blinking, we can go twinkling. I'm just gonna go with colored for these. I think it's gonna add a really nice pop right in front of the house. Along the front of the mulch beds, I wanna add a little bit of color. So I'm using these path lights. They're an oversized bulb, a G60. They're gonna be really easy to install. I just pop them right into the ground. For the tree in the corner of this house, instead of opting for kind of traditional string lights, I am going with spotlights. The reason being is that this is kind of a tricky tree. It has a lot of trunks to it and very thin branches, so string lights would be really hard to use. These spotlights will give it some really nice illumination and balance out the yard. I'm doing a combination of green and red. Now for my placement, I'm putting them into the grass, which is okay because we're done mowing for the season. If you live in a warm climate, you'll probably want to keep them in your mulch beds just so that you don't have to mow around them. You have a few different options for how to actually hang your lights. We're gonna use a couple different methods here on this house, but the most common one are gonna be these all-purpose light holders. These clips are what I'm gonna use on the majority of this house. Let me show you how they work. All right, so these clips work by tucking right behind the siding. I recommend going in at a bit of an angle, so more of it's tucked behind versus just going in straight like that. And then the light goes right in here. For the double entry doors and to trim out and frame out all the different windows that we're highlighting, I'm using these C9 LEDs. Aren't they the cutest? These ones are kind of the retro vibe bulbs. I absolutely love them. They've actually been trending the last couple years, kind of making a comeback. I think they're gonna add a really fun kind of retro throwback pop to this house. For these lights around the door, we're using command light clips. They're really low profile, and especially around a door where you'll have guests coming in and out, you don't really want a bigger, bulkier light clip, and they'll totally work here on the vinyl without leaving any damage or residue. For this door frame, we're actually doubling up the lights. So we are doing one pass and then coming back and adding a second row. That's just gonna make the door pop a little bit more, and with the length of this spool of lights, it just kind of made sense. Lights on a spool like this make installation so much easier. There's no getting tangled up. The key is just remembering at the end of the season to put them back on the spool so you're ready to go for next year. All right, now we're gonna focus on lighting the columns here. We're gonna light the columns along the front of the garage and then also the ones on the porch. I'm gonna use white LED lights. I feel like we have a lot of color in other areas of the home, so going with like a classic white on this is gonna look really nice and balanced. For these columns, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do it. We're gonna start at the top and work our way down. For this, we're actually gonna start with our plug at the top. Reason being here is that we wanna run our extension cord up along the roof line. Because this is the garage, cars will be coming in and out, and we don't want an extension cord that a car will be driving over regularly. So Steve is using a single clip to just clip right onto the backside, so it'll be low profile, no one will ever see it. As we're wrapping, we're just making sure we're keeping it taut. We're kind of keeping them at an angle to sort of give it almost like a little candy cane vibe here. And we are spacing about 3.5 to 4 inches apart. Even with careful planning and trying to figure out exactly how long of a strand you need for a certain area, you may end up with a bit of excess like we have here. We have a couple feet extra. Now you have a few options. You could continue wrapping back up, but that would kind of throw off the visual look of my spacing. So instead, I'm actually just gonna hide this behind the back of the column. So I'm gonna take my excess and pull it vertically right along the back of the post, tuck it in, it'll stay tight, and you'll never know we had some extra. Now I only wanna light the columns. So what we're gonna do is use an extension cord to run this set of lights over to the next column. We're working on our Icicle lights now that are going along our gutter lines. So these are a really great option. They're probably one of the most popular lights that people have been using in the past few years. To install our Icicle lights, we're gonna use a ladder and the same multi-purpose clips that we've been using, and we'll attach them right onto the gutter. These clips just attach right onto the side of the gutter, and then the light goes into the top. They're pretty low profile, and it's smart to kind of just make any adjustments you need to your Icicles while you're up here. That way you don't have to go back up on the ladder to a same section. If you're not comfortable going up onto a ladder, another alternative is using a light clip extender pole. It allows you to keep 2 feet on the ground and still clip the lights up onto the gutter. I got some great accessories from Lowe's that will really complete this style. Some lit garlands, some wreaths, some mini trees. It's pulling it all together. Once all of your lights are installed, I highly recommend using a timer with a daylight sensor to save energy. Once everything's plugged into it, it'll turn on at night and off in the morning, saving you both time and energy. You good?
Yep, hit it.
All right.
All right.
Ta-da! Da-da-da-da! This house turned out awesome. It has a huge variety of lights all working together to create the perfect Christmas vibe. I hope you learned a lot throughout this video, and I would love to know how you decorate your home, so leave me a comment and let me know. And as always, all the products used throughout this video are linked in the description below.